think we're ready to go. Welcome everyone once again to the Quantum Cafe and Interstellar Lounge with your host here, the Cosmic Messenger, and it's a pleasure to be able to come on as usual, to be able to chat with you all about so many wild happenings in the quantum field. This show is all about multidimensional living and talking about the very far fantastical elements that have to do with multidimensional living, quantum ascension, life forms on other planets, beings and creatures that live all over the cosmos, astral traveling, different realities, like, oh, I saw some particles today, what's up with that? Shifting energetic fields, vibrational healing, spirituality in its deepest, wildest forms. All of the supernatural abilities that people have when they're children. Sometimes they carry them into their adult life, or they get blocked out, they want to speak about them. All those wild things that happen to us. This is a place where we can bring them all together and we can deconstruct all of the many meanings, happenings, and wild times that go on. Planetary alignments, you name it. This is your home base for all of that stuff. Now, what an eclipse. Wow. So we had one on Saturday there. That was an immense, powerful day. Eclipses are always transformative, and they bring in lots of new earth energies, and it shifts the frequency, and it makes a portal open, right, and creates a vortex of energy. And through that, souls actually come in to get birthed, which is really cool because it's opening up the field, right, so that everything can enter. The neat part about the eclipses is they really increase the energetic, vibratory, and frequency fields on Earth, Gaia, and Tara. All three of them are pinned together. You got 3D Earth, 5D Tara, and 7D Gaia, which are Earth and all of these other timelines, right? And the idea right now is to merge them so that we can all move together and move forward. Though the others will be able to remain in their other states as well because it's multidimensional. And so what's really cool about that, and the eclipse part, was on Saturday. I had a wild day. So let's share a bit of that before we get to the topic at hand for today. And I hope everybody's having an amazing time out there as well too. And if anybody's going through some intense times, well, these are definitely intense times on Earth. So, eclipse day. What happened? In the morning, I did a duo Reiki session. So, two practitioners at the same time, in the same healing space, on a client. And on top of that, there was two clients at the same time. Two beds, right? Two treatment tables back to back. And being able to have 4 hands and all of the tools that we use, the vibrational elixirs, the tuning forks, crystals come in, and the energy work coming out of the hands, and making all of the sacred geometry grids and getting all the downloads. Like, you think you get a lot from one, then you throw another practitioner in the mix and it boosts that up. And then you bring in another beautiful being into the room, and suddenly you're getting even more into that field. So that just took it to a whole nother vortex. That was actually the first time that I had done that. I've done sessions with 2 practitioners on 1 client, but doing 2, whoa. So just to give people a little bit of info, go right back to my eclipse story. I am a Reiki master teacher, a Lightbody technician, and a metaphysical activator. So if anybody needs my services, go to Linktree /the Cosmic Messenger. That'll be the link at the end of the video, and you can access any of my services, from energy healing to energy encoded artwork. I do metaphysical music, and the list just goes on and on. I have a video channel that you're watching now, and then a matrix busting channel over on Rumble. These are all my different portals, right? And I make photonic key codes and galactic affirmations. I do aura treatment scanning sessions, Tamiana practitioner as well too for that modality. So the list goes on and on. So have a blast going to the webpage. So the morning I did the Reiki duo, and then after that in the afternoon, I had a multi-dimensional workshop all about the Merkaba. So I've created 5 workshops so far. I've just launched my second one, which is the Crystalline Lightbody, which is coming up on May 21st. It's from 10 a.m. to 12 p.m. And it's going to be 2 hours all about the Crystalline Lightbody. They're $33. You can sign up for those. They're amazing. And I offer meditation and an activation with them, as well as for this workshop particular, you're going to get a high-res audio file with all of the with the meditation. Like, I got a full studio treatment. There's ambient music, metaphysical music in the background. It's pretty awesome. So I'm going to be launching those right away on the 16th, 15th, on the next eclipse of May. So I did the workshop though, so I'm doing the Lightbody one coming up, but I did one all about the stellar Merkaba. Got to do a video on that one. That's an amazing feature. Our star tetrahedron, right? So I did that. Then we did a 12th dimensional activation. Whoa, the Maharic Seal from the Voyagers 1 book. That was off the charts. So that's like a 12th dimensional vortex that we're working with, templates that we're bringing in. And then after that, had a quick break, and then we had sound healing in our house. Sound healing, we hosted a sound healing, and it was absolutely incredible. And so we had, there was singing, Tibetan singing bowls of all shapes and sizes. There was a rain stick. When you turned it over, it just kept going and going and going. It was amazing. And then it was shaker-like, kind of rattle-like, bunch of shells put together, mind-blowing. And then the piece de resistance was the galactic acutonics fork, or not forks, they're chimes. Those got also added into the mix as well too. And we had some medicine drumming going on, and the person who was hosting it was walking around the room, which usually it's like, here's my stage or here's my area and I play my sounds and you bathe in them. So because they were walking around the room, you were able to have all these different medicines come through for each individual person as well as for the room at large. So that was off the charts. I had a really good time with that one. So I was super activated that day, to say the least. Okay, cool. Thanks for listening. There's just so much happening. It's amazing. I wanted to come on and share with you all these wild happenings. Keep the frequency going. So today's video is all about why we do the work. Why do we do the spiritual work? Why do we do the metaphysical work? What is its purpose? Why are we here doing it? I get a lot of clients, people that I talk to, asking, like, let's do this work, feel a little bit better, you get some tune-ups, cool, but like, what are we really doing this for? And that's a big question, and that could go off for hours. So let's give you the condensed version. The main purpose for doing all of this work is the upliftment of your soul, the upliftment of your reality, and being able to shift your fields so that we can truly get multidimensional on a way higher octave than ever before. And that's because all of these happenings that we call supernatural abilities, right? Wild happenings, from levitation to ascension, all these different things that come out, those are going to be normal daily reality. And we've dropped so far into the matrix, into this little 3D point. At this point, I would say there's a lot of people who are resonating higher, but the majority of society right now is working on the lower third dimension, or not even lower, we'll say like it's as low as you can go in the 3D vortex. It is so dense. And so we're missing so much of what makes life vibrant, holographic, to the point where you can, like, imagine you're driving a large semi-truck, let's say. Oh, okay, cool, we need to carry all these goods, but we can only fit so much on the truck. In these coming futures that we're going to be creating, we're going to be able to take stuff that you could never imagine would fit in a truck, and we're going to be able to compact it down temporarily with its particles, and then it's going to reappear back to its shape once it's unloaded off the truck, okay? We're going to be levitating. We're going to be leaving the planet at will with our bodies. The goal here is to put all of our strands of DNA intact. So they're dormant. We have 12 of them. Most people have 2, maybe 3 activated at the most. Some are having a 4th strand with some astral experiences going on in the 4th dimension. The goal is to get at least minimum of the 5 activated. Now, to leave the body off the planet, or sorry, to exit the planet with your body, you're looking at 12 strand full activation. And that's more ascended master and beyond, right? So we do all these things and we massively shift the collective so that we can have this majorly uplifted society. Now, let's get back down to a little bit of ground base. So that's kind of the overview stuff, right? We're bringing in these templates, we're feeding this new energies, we're taking timelines from past, present, future, quantum, they're all meeting now, and we're healing them, and we're changing them. You heal one thing, you're healing millions of parts. So, the lost parts of you need to be refound. But then what happens when you relocate all of this awesomeness, okay? From a physical perspective, you tend to feel more robust. We have less dis-ease on the planet. We start to realize that like food is medicine. What kind of foods am I eating? Because when you up these frequencies, then when you go out in public, suddenly some stuff doesn't resonate with you as much, or you keep trying it for a while, even if it's many years, and it just keeps jamming itself up. And that's because it's showing you where the distortion lies and where the health lies. We start to sleep a little, we start to sleep more so that we can regenerate. And in other cases, even if we still sleep lots, I generally have these days where it's about 8 in the morning, 8:30, and going till about midnight, and just feeling really energetic, right? We start to get into yogic practices and things like that too, in meditation and breath work. And suddenly our 3-dimensional system is starting to tap into our emotional body and our mental body. We all know we have a subconscious, so if it's filled up with programming, patterns, and advertising and all these facts and figures from pop culture, we're able to go into there, right? Pull out all these different strands and go, that program's not needed anymore. I'm going to consciously add this one into the mix, right? And then your dreams start to take up more messaging because of all this work you're doing, right? And you have an energy body. You have many energy bodies, your subtle bodies, your light body, your Merkaba field, your aura, and the list goes on and on and on. Do you want to access your lowest self? That's your choice. Some people aren't even aware that you could access your highest self. But that's where doing this work takes it to that level. Because the spiritual component of reality has been completely either stolen, taken, repackaged, and sent to us in the form of religious context. It's your own independent spirituality, nobody else's. And when we all go there, we realize they connect even more. There's less arguing about what's right and wrong and who knows this and what reality is. But we we wanted to have this experience where we became so dense that it was almost a forgetting. So now we're re-remembering. And spiritual body is with the metaphysical bodies is a component that has to be instilled in order to advance. And when you add that into the mix, you're regenerating your body faster. You're telling your cells new codes. You suddenly want to be around nature more and biodynamic food. Organics, non-GMO, right? And you're learning about how everything works. And that's an important feature, because then when you go to create whatever you're working on, be it building a house to being an artist, making a painting, whatever you're doing, you could be even just operating a grocery store. The amount of like manifestation, information, and like new codex that can come through really enhances life. And then when you're multitasking, talking to people, socializing, engaging, things go more smoothly. There's less distortions happening. Drama, which we still have a lot of work to do with it, is not completely gone, but it's slowly making its exit, because you realize there was all this conditioning and there was all this judgments and stuff and guilt that was taking place. And suddenly your emotions are more relaxed, and that gives you better sleeps. That tunes up your nervous system. That makes you feel more in line, right? With who you are, closer to your max capacity. And then we can start to have even more fun with reality. We realize that our hands can heal. We start getting into metaphysical modalities. If you choose to do them, these things will enlighten your life. And they will make things, when they say I'm enlightened and you're not true. Enlighten means just to lighten up, right? To move into that state. Imagine us working on ourselves so much that we can then hop planets, go to different timelines, right? And not be constrained by just what the government tells us to do, because it also, by awakening these parts of ourselves, we're also creating our own personal power, our own will. Instead of what we didn't know was the will of what society was telling us what we wanted to consume, do, eat, act, think, right? Be you in your organic form, not what society's molding you to be. There's always going to be some environmental mold, but if you uplift yourself, then imagine all of the wonderful things you can show other people, right? So we do this to shift our patterns. And if you shift your patterns, the first initial work, it never stops, is some of the most intense. That's like the mirrors coming up and changing all these patterns. But what happens when you shift the pattern? It becomes an even better one than it was before. And for some reason, a lot of society is scared of that. But it's not a familiar place for me. But for your soul, your oversoul, your galactic self, that's where it resonates, that's where it lives. This experience in this 3D that we're having is so small in the grand scheme of reality, we're missing so much more of what's out there. The multiple universes and endless amounts of galaxies, right? In different dimensional viewpoints. As well as when we lighten up the body like that too, and start to resonate at a higher frequency, then we're able to go and journey to other planets and assimilate into their societies a little bit more easier. Not saying you'd want to just get up and leave your family and do that, but that's the neat part about reincarnating, right? And coming back time and time again as well too. We do this work on ourselves, even the small stuff, like I'm going to go get cotton, organic cotton, instead of this polyester item. I know that there's stuff with rain gear and wanting to keep things from entering the body, and I know nature has a way of doing that, but these alpacas and the silks and all those sort of things, bamboo, hemp, linen, they all lead us to these places where we can then illuminate ourselves and go to the next octave, right? And by doing the spiritual and energy work, that helps us get to those places so that we can be teachers for others. So we can be, I even like more the word way showers, or being a catalyst for the potential for something to occur, right? Because we got to get in there at some point in all of our incarnations, in our spirit realm, and when we're in the mundane and anywhere in between. We're going to have to eventually get to the point where we work on this stuff as well too. We do this primarily to maximize and benefit our lives. Then you start to realize all these other wonderful things that come up, that I can do a mudra, such as this one. You put your, right, you got your fingers down there. Sorry, actually they go down to the bottom, and then on the side, I don't know if you can see it in the video, it's kind of hard placing my fingers out to the edge, right? That's for allergies. Do it regularly. What, I don't need the medication anymore, and between that and some certain types of teas, I can completely let that go and save money in the process and not be dependent on something. Very interesting, because our body is an amazing piece of technology. Between the energy work, the mudras, the yogic exercises, the breath work, the mind thought pattern with the visualizations, really, we're just getting started on Earth, but that is the direction we're moving towards, and it is going to be absolutely amazing once we really start to go deep into it in these next decades, but particularly coming centuries. And as you guys learn more, I learn more. As the collective learns more, then we can put that imprint into Earth's electromagnetic field, right? And by doing this work, we also then ask for more fantastical realities to find us. What happens then? Suddenly, maybe the Ark of the Covenant starts showing itself again, and we realize there's an astral bridge so that we can exit even further when we leave the body or want to birth some stuff into our portal. We start to find out that there's other sacred sites, or there's new galactic history that was withheld from us. Oh, imagine if we keep asking more, which is happening, we're eventually going to see that there's millions of different creatures that live, sentient creatures, all over the cosmos, particularly tons in our region of this galaxy. And they're going to show themselves, and some are already on Earth, Mars, there's different bases, Jupiter, Saturn. It's pretty wild stuff, even on the moon. Some are down in inner Earth. And in order for us to see it, for it to happen, we have to put that into the field. But they're waiting a bit because they always showed themselves, and they're still showing themselves now in some capacity. It's just that we haven't built up the collective responsibility to be ready to engage on an intergalactic level. But once we go intergalactic, the possibilities that we know now are going to seem so small in comparison. It's going to be amazing. And when we do the work, we also shift the weather, because humans and the weather go hand in hand. And as we uprise, we create more crystalline weather, more beautiful, wholesome patterns, and then it also stops. In the matrix, there's a lot of geoengineering that goes on. That will slow down because more and more people will catch the wave of awakening and move into that center. We're all going to go at different rates in time, but there is a massive movement. And then as we're healthier and more robust, then we clean ourselves up. And then when we have children and pass that off, the generations that move into this now, they're all going to be crystalline themselves too, and become harmonic, and they're going to be robust, and they're going to have extra wisdoms come in at birth time, right? We won't be canceling out people's wild experiences because we're going to be now validating them as being real, whereas before, even now, where a lot of the times they're, I don't even know what the word is for, we're unvalidating them. We're disregarding them as being just part of your imagination, right? And that sort of thing. And realizing the main thing is that everything is particles, everything is energy, and that we are these wild souls animating these bodies, breathing in prana air and sharing it with the cosmos, and it's incredible. So we do this stuff so that we can eliminate a lot of the things that are jamming us up, right? Oh, my stomach always feels weird when I eat these foods, or I have so much stress in our lives. By doing the work, this stuff starts to dissipate. There's always some extreme circumstances, some rare cases where a soul comes in, or by the free will of another being, some experiences happen that aren't always pleasant and really intense. So I'm speaking more for the other ones, but however, each individual one is so unique. You can't lump them in all together, right? But as a collective of humans, and us getting our wings back, going super cosmic, and also realizing that this working 9 to 5, Monday to Friday, go home, that program will self-destruct. And if visionaries are coming through to share that information, and a lot of us don't catch up, that's okay. If some of us catch up 10,000 years from now, fine. The message is still clear, and this is the age of truth, the age of Aquarius, the age of electricity, the age of things going wild and technology going bonkers, right? At the same time too. A lot of it's super cool, but you got to watch out who's in control of it, right? So by doing all of these things, then you realize that's the frequencies. Because after I had my Saturday experience with the eclipse, I'm always buzzing, rocking the 5D living as much as I possibly can, doing my very best, grateful for every time, very humble, gets the ego in check. That's another thing with doing the work. The ego gets a huge check. It becomes very balanced. It makes for a beautiful human, right? The masculine gets in touch with its feminine. The feminine gets in touch with its masculine. They find that there's a whole spectrum in between, and there's infinite realities of energies. The hemispheres of the mind become in sync. It's really cool. So I had my experience on Saturday. I was super elevated. I go out, had to be in 3D world a little bit, run a couple errands, and it was just like, I was so buzzing at that point, a little higher than most days, that it was like almost jamming up and fritzing the 3D environment to the point where like even like my clairsent was so activated. So no matter where I went, every single bit of chemical, from the toxic sprays they use to clean shopping carts to people choose to wear cologne and other things that are filled with so many chemical weirdness. It's your choice, but that stuff, it was probably still at the exact same level it was before, but because the clairsent was open, it was just radiating it to the point where it was elevated by at least 100 times more than normal, and it showed that that's the level of how long it leaches into every particle, right? We're gonna have to let that stuff go. Like a 99% removal of it all. Gets in the field, it distorts people, etc., etc. Thanks for listening, everyone. So these are the reasons we do the work. So that you can have the most fantastical living experience possible, and also heal traumas and wounds and just be vibrant and happy and bring in so much joy and excitement. And know, by doing the work, you get tuned up and you realize that when you want some regeneration time, you deserve it. A break. Not socializing, just you and the cosmos. You and nature. You start to take that time more regularly because it becomes very important. Thanks for listening, everyone. That's a little bit of information about why we do the work. Thanks for listening. It's been so much fun being on the Quantum Cafe and Interstellar Lounge again. I'll put my link down at the bottom if anybody needs any of my services. I do long distance as well as local, which also includes my Reiki trainings as well too. So please reach out. My webpage has got all of the contact information and everything you can need, all right? So take care, everyone. Stay rad and interstellar, and we will talk to you soon. Rock on.